What's up? I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets, and it's Monday. What does that mean? It means it's time for me to open up my mailbox and answer your questions about copywriting, marketing, business building, and more. Yeah, and we're going to be talking about how to write email copywriting, how to write persuasive email. So, that said, let's dive into these notes here. Today's Mailbox Monday question comes from Kay, and they say, my biggest question right now is how to write persuasive email. And by the way, if you have a question you'd like to have answered in an upcoming episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets, check the link in the description to ask Roy your question. That's how you submit it to get it answered here. All right, so let's talk about how to write persuasive email. Now, one of the things that I beat this into email copywriters' heads over and over and over again, because you sign up for all these email lists, and a lot of times, and even mine is maybe an example of this, where there's this perception, especially in the copywriters writing emails world, that you have to be this entertainer, you have to create all this personality, you have to do all these fancy stories, all of that stuff. And yeah, sometimes that can work really well in email marketing, especially if it's a really personality driven brand and the emails can capture the personality of the person behind the brand. And yet, if you talk to most of those copywriters, if they are serious and experienced in copywriting, and you were to ask them to go write emails for clients, that is not the type of email that they would write. And in fact, most of the time when I have written emails for clients who do a high level of email volume, that's not the type of emails that they want. They don't want these long story emails. They don't want all those emails that match the email gurus, right? What they want is an email that's going to get someone to click. They just want an email that's going to get someone to click. And so the number one job of your marketing emails is to drive the click. It's to get the person. Well, okay, so ultimately they have to see the email in their inbox. They have to decide that they want to open it. So you do have to get open rate good, but then they have to read it, but they can't get lost in reading it. They can't get excited about reading it. They can't get enamored with the writing that is in the email. What your email, its main job is to get them engaged enough in the message that they want to learn more. And the only way that they can learn more is by clicking. Right? And so anything you're doing beyond that, just getting the click, is doing too much in the email. You do not want to sell. And so the question was how to write persuasive emails. Well, you have to be a little bit careful here, because the job in the email is not to sell the product, the service, whatever it is. The job in the email is just to get someone to go to that next page. And that next page should be a sales message that is designed to convert them. Right? And maybe it's actually an application. If you're selling some high ticket service, maybe it's to get them to book a very short introductory call. Maybe it's to get them to just check out a VSL. Maybe it's to get them to read a landing page, right? But whatever it is, the main job of marketing emails, persuasive emails, is to get the click. And you have to remember this first, because it's going to change the way that you approach your emails. It's going to change the messaging you choose. It's going to change how you make decisions about the length of the email. It's going to change where you put the links in the email. It's going to change lots of things if you say, okay, I am going to be successful as an email copywriter if I get this person to click out of their email inbox into my marketing funnel, my marketing message, whatever it is, right? And so remember that first and foremost, you want to write a persuasive email. All that you really want to do is persuade them to click to the next step. So with that stated, there are two main types of marketing email. And this first one is content and relationship building. And so if you actually go back to the early 2000s, when the foundation was being laid for what we know of as email marketing today, Agora was one of the big direct response marketers that was really perfecting this model. And they had all these different divisions that were testing out all these different ways to approach email. And what they settled on, the most reliable, consistent system that you can use, is to consistently be putting out these content or relationship building emails. Now, if it's an investment newsletter, this is going to be some kind of analysis or reflection on the markets. It's going to be a perspective on the markets. And that's an important distinction between like analysis versus perspective. Perspective is taking a stand for one side or another on the markets. And what you're doing is you're building a relationship with your audience, with your readers. You're getting them engaging with your emails on a consistent basis. You're making them want to open emails that come from you, because the single most important thing in terms of getting response to your emails is who is sending it. The single most important thing for getting the emails open is the relationship that you have with the sender. The single most important thing for getting the emails clicked is the relationship that you have with the sender. And so there are these things that are like articles in an email, right, that are just engaging people with the emails that are being sent out. And different publishers will approach this in different ways, or different marketers will approach this in different ways. But typically, this is something anywhere from one email a week, usually not less often than that for a good email marketer, to one email or more per day. And when you deal with with one of the Agora companies where it's a much bigger publisher, oftentimes there are multiple emails going out per day from multiple people. But again, the main focus of these are the content and the relationship building with the sender. And yes, oftentimes these do include, for example, text ads that can get people to click, or call to actions in the body of the article, or message that get people to click, all of those things, right? Usually the clicking in these is a little bit secondary, right? But also the expectation is not necessarily that these are going to sell. The expectation is that these are building the relationship such that the prospect knows, likes, and trusts you, such that they are much more likely to do business with you in the future. And then the second type of marketing email is the action email. And that tends to be much shorter, much more focused on a single message, much more focused on just getting that click. And so if you've been getting good articles from a sender, and then they say, hey, I just put together this presentation that I think is enormously valuable, and it's about this thing, and it's about, I don't know, making money in the market with this unique opportunity that's going to be here for the next 60 days. Would you like to check it out? Well, okay, cool. I'm going to click the link. I'm going to check it out, right? And those are much shorter, much more action focused. They're click focused, right? And so when you sit down to write a marketing email, you have to think like, am I creating content and relationship building, or am I creating action emails? And usually, if you are trying to get someone to convert, you're writing action emails. In fact, for most of my clients through most of my career as a copywriter, they've had editors and an editorial staff that are doing the content and relationship building. And I'm brought in as part of my conversion systems that I built with them to write the action emails only. They deal with the content and relationship building. I deal with the action emails. So all of that kind of as a setup to answering this question more directly: how to make your marketing email persuasive, how to write persuasive email copywriting, right? Well, number one, remember your number one job. Link to a solid conversion system, and you just want to focus on getting them to click. You focus on what they get by clicking. And so if the conversion system promises this brand new opportunity for investors that's going to be here for the next 60 days, that is an opportunity to make 10 times your money, whatever. Well, you just focus on, hey, check out this new opportunity our researchers have uncovered that's an opportunity to make 10 times your money, but you have to get in within the next 60 days. Boom, focus on what they get by clicking. Okay, so remember your number one job is to get them to click, and you just need to promise them whatever they're going to get when they click, the value that they're going to get just by engaging with that next sales message. Now, all of that said, you need to be writing about something interesting. And so if that next message is not interesting, like 10% off a product that you don't care about, you're not going to be able to write a persuasive email that changes their perspective on that. You have to be linking to an interesting conversion system. That said, if you have something that is maybe a little less compelling on the conversion system, you can still write interesting emails, right? And you just have to find the right powerful idea. You need to find the right hook. You need to find what I've identified is that there are a limited number of different types of ideas that go into effective email marketing. Now, I named this product before the whole AI craze, but I have a product called Email Copywriting Prompts. And actually, you can still get it for just $7, and the link will be in the description here. But it gets into 31 different idea types that are pretty reliable. So, for example, one of the idea types is famous people and celebrities. And so if you can talk about someone famous, either just in the niche to the people in the niche, or you can talk about a more general celebrity, right? And you can somehow link that to your message. So if it's investing, one of the most consistent names that you've heard come up is Warren Buffett, but there's lots of other names in the investing world that are relevant there. You could, in the marketing world, if I talk about Dan Kennedy or Eugene Schwartz or Clayton Makepeace or something like that, I get more engagement right away just because I'm doing that. And that's one of 31 different prompts that I use for email copywriting. Now, these are just ideas to get you started to get your brain going and coming up with different relevant ideas to your messaging, right? But if you can find that one interesting idea, then you are much more likely to engage the audience. And then it's up to you to link it through to justify why that is connected to the click, why that's connected to that next step that they need to take. Now, that said, you don't want to get lost in a lot of ideas. You don't want to throw a bunch of ideas against the wall and see what sticks in an individual email. Now, you might do that through time as you're testing different hooks, right? But in an individual email, you want it focused on what Michael Masterson / Mark Ford called the power of one core idea, one core emotion, one storyline that you're going to talk about, one main benefit that they're going to get by responding, and one call to action. That's all. It's all just one thing that you're talking about, because when you create confusion, you reduce conversions. When you focus on one thing, you have clarity, and clarity increases conversions. Confusion decreases conversions. Clarity increases conversions. And so focusing on one idea is one of the biggest shortcuts that you can use to be as clear as possible in your emails and in your copy in general. So find that one idea that is compelling, that's captivating, that's going to make people open to receiving your sales message. Write just a blurb about that and say, go here for your next step. Now, bonus tip for powerful email marketing is to make it an event. Not just focused on the individual email, but think about, how is this email arriving? What is it part of, right? Make your reader part of something bigger. So it's not just, hey, I sent you an email, will you respond? It's, hey, I'm doing this big thing and this is your opportunity to be part of it. It's only going on for a little bit, all of that. Like, the more you can turn individual emails into a big campaign and a big event, the more effective it's going to be. And, this was a big revelation for me fairly early on in my marketing, that the more we could do things as campaigns versus one shot, the more we would get people to engage, to the point where created these big sophisticated campaigns that had all of these different moving parts, but always all those big sophisticated campaigns far outperformed just a collection of one-shot emails and one-shot marketing. My call to action for you at the end of this episode is, number one, ask yourself how you can use this. What are you going to do going forward as a result of what you've heard here? Don't forget to like and subscribe, and check out Email Copywriting Prompts. That link is in the description. It is 31 idea starters that can be mixed and matched for effectively infinite email marketing ideas. And, if you wanted to take that and and start there. You could then start to plug it into ChatGPT or whatever AI tool you use as text prompts, and perhaps crank those out even faster. And if you do have a question you'd like to have me answer in an upcoming Mailbox Monday episode, that link is in the description as well. I'm Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets, and I'll catch you again in the next episode. See you soon. Bye. Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.